If one could speak frankly about Prince Andrew, the polite euphemism, I suppose, would be managed withdrawal, and the less polite term would be banishment or exile. And the Laoney book has stripped away the last fig leaf of plausible deniability, leaving him with a narrowing circle of options: exile abroad, quiet retirement in Balmoral, or the sort of genteel confinement within Windsor's walls. And Charles has thus far been indulgent, perhaps out of fraternal loyalty or desire to avoid further scandal, or just to keep him inside the tent and avoid further damage. But it's doubtful that Prince William, when he ascends the throne, will be equally lenient. William's instincts are towards a streamlined monarchy, duty, discipline, and distance from controversy, and Andrew represents the antithesis of all three. If the York family remains under the royal umbrella at all, it will be more for reasons of containment than honour. Andrew's situation is complicated by three factors: the Epstein connection, the continuing drip feed of tawdry revelations which keep the story alive internationally, opaque finances, questions about unexplained wealth and possible influence peddling remain unanswered, and public sentiment. Opinion polls consistently place him as the most disliked member of the family, a reputational millstone. Realistically, the strategy will be to minimise visibility, and that could mean permanent residence in a remote royal estate, occasional appearances at strictly private family occasions, and no further involvement in charitable or public roles. It may also mean, should pressure mount, formal removal of titles and honours. Though Charles seems reluctant to take that step, William might not be so reluctant. The problem is, it doesn't really matter with this book, after this book's publication, whether Prince Andrew is connected to Epstein's shame or the Virginia Giuffre story. There's so many other stories there that equally discredit him. I just don't think he could possibly hold his head up in public in any possible way. And there is precedent for the kind of quiet exclusion. The Duke of Windsor, after 1936, lived a comfortable but politically neutered life in France, used only when necessary for ceremonial optics. Andrew could find himself in a modern equivalent, neither destitute nor exiled to a desert island, but living in a curated obscurity. And the tragedy is that he had the perfect royal role, privilege without the burden of kingship, and squandered it through arrogance, poor judgment, and a refusal to understand that the rules don't apply to me is not a sustainable philosophy in a constitutional monarchy. The monarchy will survive Andrew, but he will not survive it in any meaningful role. And the decision point will likely come not under the present king, but under William, and when it does, the indulgent brother may be replaced by an unsentimental sovereign, and that for William will that for Andrew will represent the true end game, and Andrew will be gone.